Hello everyone, welcome back to another stream. I am literally just getting set up to take the link and send that out to everybody. So, let's see how this goes. Just gonna throw this out there and then away we go. Okay. Let's get on with stuff. So the link has been sent out. I'm also just gonna like that. Okay. Hello everyone. So I'm just gonna turn off the music that I had in the background that you wouldn't have been able to hear while I was getting the stream ready. Okay. So hello to everyone. So this is the first of these type of streams that I want to do, right? Let's do a little bit of a breakdown first. If you're new to the project, this essentially is me doing a 3D Undertale animated AU. It's all done in Blender. It's all animated with all the characters, all the environments that you'd expect, just with a slight twist to it. I've been working on this for a couple of years now to get it to this point where we can actually start reviewing shots and making proper feedback and things. So we're going to go through the full intro up until the latest bit that I've been working on. The latest bit is not going to be in final shot form, as it were, with all the nice effects and lighting and everything. I'm still currently working on it. But yeah, at the moment, we're looking at like up to 3 minutes worth of footage. In terms of when this will all be done by, I honestly don't know. It's taking a while. It's a massive understatement. But each day there's a bit of progress. It's one step at a time, as it were. Very small steps, because I have a family to look after. But saying that, at least progress is progress at the end of the day. So, hello to everyone in chat. Hope you're okay. Let's see, who have we got in here? Joshua and Swoop. What's up? I will also check files after this is gone on. So yeah, hopefully, yeah, the audio's fine. I love the way I do the entire intro and then check the audio. So, how's everyone before we get started with this? I'll explain the screen as well in a moment. I'm doing good, says Joshua. Okay, that's good. Okay, everybody's doing good. That's great. So, for Blender's preview window, what we essentially have here is a checkered, I suppose you could say dark grey and grey. What that essentially is that's a replacement for black in Blender at the moment. So just imagine, if you will, that that's a black background for scenes that have that. So we'll just go from the beginning. Some of you may have seen the preview versions of this, but it's no big deal. We'll just continue on and show it, and then I'll go over like a couple of notes and things. So, without further ado, away we go.
Long ago, two races ruled over Earth, humans and monsters. One day, war broke out between the two races. After a long battle, the humans were victorious. They sealed the monsters underground with a magic spell. Many years later, at Mount Ebott, legends say that those who climb the mountain never return.
Ow! I'm alive? I'm alive! But how do I get back up? Maybe there's a way out that way. I mean, that does kind of look like a door. Maybe. Is it a door? I think it's a door.
Howdy! I'm Flowey. Flowey the Flower. You're new to the underground, aren't you? Golly, you must be so confused.
I heard of monsters being down here, but this is ridiculous.
Someone ought to teach you how things work around here. I guess little old me'll have to do. Ready? Here we go. You see that heart? That is your soul, the very culmination of your being. Your soul starts off weak, but it can go strong if you gain a lot of LV.
LV? What does LV stand for?
What's LV stand for? Why, love, of course. You want some love, don't you? Don't worry, I'll share some with you. Down here, love is shared through little white friendliness pellets. Are you ready? Move around. Get as many as you can. You know what's going on here, don't you? You just want me to suffer.
So that's what I've got so far. So, of course, notes being that from about 140 onwards, obviously it's not the final render. So, there are a couple of things to go over. Hey memes. So we've got a couple of things. The intro, the reason it's done with the storybook style, I just like the whole thing with it. It just kind of ties it nicely together, especially because of the way that the intro is presented in game. Hey Sammy. A few notes to do with the book. The book is just a completely original design. I like the way that it's done primarily because I searched up this floral thing online and just found one that happened to look like a heart. So it is actually the standard, sort of like Deltarune symbol that you see with a heart around it. The only difference is the heart is flowers. I thought that was kind of cool. And then the rest of it is flower themed. Obviously, when we get the artwork here, all of this is redone by Sammy, who's in chat currently. So this is all basically like I think at the moment it's like over 4K in resolution, because I upscaled it massively. There is slight deformation here on the page. That's because the pages are basically they're not flat. You can see when they turn here. When they turn, they're not flat. They actually have to lie, like, in a different way. I'm not so sure if I should try messing around with the physics more on that, but they actually do curve when they turn rather than be completely stiff. So they actually do look a little bit like pages. But I love all of this going into it. The background narration by Z is great. As Toriel. This is all like I said, redrawn, so it's exactly how you see it in game. And then what we did was we tied in that with Frisk's fall there. With this bit here, I like this. This is great so far. Hey Wally, the only thing that I'm going to change in this scene specifically when I re-render it is I want to redo the particle effects how I've done them in the second scene, like over here. Primarily because like the particle effects, the basically video stuff, and I've done like a little bit of trickery to make them look as though they're kind of in scene and actually reacting how they should. But yeah, they need to be redone and react better. One thing that I'm really happy with, of course, like I've mentioned multiple times, is the moving foliage and physics stuff. That stuff is just great. That grounds the characters in the environment. There'll be a lot more of that stuff in future. When it comes to this section, show everyone the flowery music amidst the swoop. Oh, I'm gonna do that after stream just in case, just to make sure I don't get copyrighted, just in case. You never know what Mr. Wolf's capable of. For here, I honestly think this transition is not too bad. The reason for this is I just wanted the environment to be shown off a little bit and show where Frisk is actually coming from in relation to everywhere else. Dave, I'm being bullied. Don't let memes bully you. Memes, stop bullying people. In terms of like this section here, when it comes to this shot here, there's one thing that I'm going to point out. It's so minor, but I want to redo it. Which is, when we see Frisk walking in, I'm going to copy this entire animation for Frisk walking in, and then redo the her simulation. Because, if you watch the her incredibly closely, the her sim's messed up. So it will like, I tried getting the timing just right, but you can see it in a couple of places. It snaps back a frame before. It shouldn't do that. So I'm going to have to simulate that again. For that bit there, Wally, I think I might need you to do an improv of a or something, you know, like a voice thing, so we can have Frisk get scared by Flowey come up.
Howdy, I'm Flowey. Flowey the Flower.
And then we've got Flowey's section here where he talks a lot. The only thing that I'm worried about with this at the moment is the shots. Me wishing when Frisk would not look like they're made of plastic. I mean, that's not too bad. I might do it better with the hair, like change the hair a little bit at the end. In terms of shaders, with the face and everything else, honestly, I don't think it's that bad. The only thing that really is shiny is the hair and the eyes. And that's specifically just because your hair naturally has a little bit of shine. I've tried changing the shader for it just a little bit, but it's still a bit funky. I think it's because of where I've placed the lighting. I refer to the sweater. I mean, the sweater is actually not reflective or shiny at all. In this bit, at least, you can see, like, you can actually see the sweater detail on it as well. That's something that I actually like. But yeah, I've toned down everything there. Fabio says, somewhat anime cartoon shock effects or whatever. It looks like a not shiny plastic. I'm going over the material with that soon, because I honestly would not know how to get that looking any better then. Oh, hey, Proof. Have you an option in the colors to make it? Yeah, I do. I think it should be as low as possible. We'll have a look and see in a moment. Right? For those just coming in, I'll show you the second scene that's been done at the moment. Sammy says later. Thank you very much, Sammy.
Howdy, I'm Flowey. Flowey the Flower. You're new to the underground, aren't you? Golly, you must be so confused.
I heard of monsters being down here, but this is ridiculous.
Someone ought to teach you how things work around here. I guess little old me'll have to do. Ready? Here we go. You see that heart? That is your soul, the very culmination of your being. Your soul starts off weak, but it can go strong if you gain a lot of LV.
LV? What does LV stand for?
What's LV stand for? Why, love, of course. You want some love, don't you? Don't worry, I'll share some with you. Down here, love is shared through little white friendliness pellets. Are you ready? Move around. Get as many as you can. You know what's going on here, don't you? You just want me to suffer.
So that's where I've got up to at the moment with that. In terms of proof. So in terms of this bit, yeah, I need to fix the her keying as we come in there, so that it's not jittery. Flowey's interactions are alright, but my main concern now is the camera from certain perspectives here, because we've got the backwards and forwards, with Frisco's on the right, Flowey always on the left. That way you can clearly see where they both are in relation to each other on screen at all times, no matter what, with the wider shots being used mainly to show the rest of the surroundings. Another note being that in this section in the background, you will be actually able to see the rest of the ruins later on. They are actually there, I've just not hidden I've unhidden them for the time being. Sorry, messing up here. I've hid them for the time being, just so that it doesn't lag on frame rate, right? In terms of Flowey, I think I've got him animated a little bit. You can see him slowly there, blowing in the breeze. Hard to tell, but he is actually animating. After this bit, I don't think it's bad, but I think instead of using these long shots, like a lot of the time, because I do like the long shots, what we're going to have here is the, very similar to in the first bit here, I want the same effects that I've got here to be present over the top of Flowey. So we'll still get that. So it's all going to look pretty. But I think what I want to do is, after this bit, because this was a smart sort of like choice to have it turn around, show all the effects, show Frisk moving backwards, and then go into a close-up camera transition. It's just smooth without having to do like that cutaway, right? So I didn't want too many cutaways here. But obviously, when you have two characters talking to each other, it's a case of maybe having them. So you can see each other's reactions, although maybe, like, for that, I can have Frisk, like a camera over Frisk's shoulder looking at Flowey, or maybe a little bit more of a close-up, because I want to kind of vary it instead of having kind of the same shots, over and over and over again. Could improve today if you need to swallow it. Oh, okay. Sweet! That's going to be good. Cannot wait to see the dramatic shots from Mad Dummy. That's going to be funny when we get to that. But yeah, the interesting thing as well here, somebody commented on it. This was when I was going over this is something going over shots that I mentioned in development of this as well, is you'll see that apart from the beginning bits here, as the scene goes on, we actually get more of a Dutch camera angle on Flowey. And it's mainly to hint at that there's something unsettling or unnerving about Flowey. So we'll always have Frisk be sort of like flat on or, without an angle on it. Flowey always has a Dutch angle after he starts sounding more sinister. So we got this going on. When Flowey starts sounding very sus, like here, hang on, and you get that facial expression, because all these facial expressions really are copied from the actual game themselves, and then I've just reenacted them in real life to get the timing down for them, with a little bit of nuance with like head tilts and things like that, and then I've just animated that. When he gets to there and he gets like really sus, that's when we get Frisk coming in a moment. Where is it? For the effects here on the seed bullets, I honestly don't know what to put there other than like popping up from the ground, you know, like dirt. Thanks, Damon. Nice to see you in chat, by the way. So other than like dirt, I don't know what to put there because I tried doing another particle effect last stream and it was just a bit too much. So after that, like here now, this is Frisk's reaction where Frisk looks at them with what they've said and what's also hovering over the head. And it's like, really? Really? You can see because of the eyebrows being raised and the eye kind of just like, what? You know, and then the slight look to the side with nervousness. And then it's like, and then starts walking backwards just in case, right? And for this bit, this is what I was trying to get the timing on recently, where we've got the bullets sort of like spinning up. There is a bit of a wind up. They do actually go forwards a little bit. You can see it just here. It's kind of subtle at the moment though with this camera angle. You can see the come forwards slightly, then they go backwards as if you're just about to throw a punch. And then they fly off, but they don't fly off altogether. They fly off kind of one after another. They're supposed to be really fast there, and then we've just got Frisk being a bit clumsy. With that, what I need to do, potentially, is make sure that knee is a little bit higher up so that the foot isn't clipping through the floor. And then we go, whoop, goes flying backwards, right? And then the bullets go over the top of them. When they reach there, I want to have an impact effect, which is why we linger on that for a moment. And also because I don't want the camera to like zoom around too quickly. Because you want to like basically focus on the impact a little bit. Right? And then that's when, well, what I want to do is, because they get up a little bit too quick there, what I want to do is have the head come back up slightly slower. And then be in this position, right? Zoom their eyes out. Oh yeah, no, like totally. This is like up until I'd say here, right? When they actually step backwards, all that is like basically final stuff, you know, as in like they I've totally like worked on this for ages to get it to like that. But from here onwards, for Frisk at least, where is it? Here. This is all new stuff, so that's why there's been no like facial expressions or anything added yet. This is literally like within the past day or so I've animated this, so that's why they don't have any like sort of like mess around on their eyes or whatever or face to show proper expression yet, and also why the hair doesn't react properly as well because the hair's just stiff, you know, because there's no physics on it at the moment. That's something that I'm gonna be fixing in a bit. It's also why the bullets stay there as well. Oh, see you later, memes. Frisk has plot armor. Frisk has dumb luck. Frisk has literally dumb luck. That's how we're going to start this. Maybe add a wet patch. Wet patch would be good. Evie? Evie, I don't think you've seen all of it, right? Because I'll show you if you need to. Too much gel to get Mio's attention. So from here onwards, what we're going to do is we're going to have Frisk looking at Flowey. And I don't know whether to make this a close-up or a long shot, because the change in face is important, which is why you do a close-up. But a long shot as well would show, I mean, it'd just show Frisk's over shoulder. Maybe I do it a little bit differently and have it in front rather than from the side rotating. Maybe I just have it sort of like slowly pan back towards Frisk because it's the same shot as a lot of other things. Like I said, I'm getting very conscious of the fact of my shot choices are literally like almost the same for the time being, and it's just so I can show off all the environment. You know, like I've got this wide shot for showing off there, then we get a close up with spin. This close up slowly going. It's all kind of the same shots, right? To and fro. So I think I might need to switch them up just a little bit. You guys prefer Frisk as a he or she? Because I know no one will ever get used to saying that. It totally depends on the player. Yeah, Frisk literally is, I'd say, a character that you can more or less imprint yourself on if you want. So Frisk is whatever you want them to be, really. But yeah, that's like for people that have just turned up as well. I'll redo the entire thing so far so you can see it. But yeah, those are the notes that I have so far.
Long ago, two races ruled over Earth, humans and monsters. One day, war broke out between the two races. After a long battle, the humans were victorious. They sealed the monsters underground with a magic spell. Many years later, at Mount Ebott, legends say that those who climbed the mountain never return.
Now, with that, in terms of the speed and everything of it, I'm literally matching the in-game version word for word and for animation. So the only other thing that I can think of doing there is literally just putting the narration text underneath. That's the only other thing that I would do, just for the sake of it. But yeah, I really like the book idea. Thank you very much, Damon, for that. And thanks for Z for the voiceover there in tutorial style.
Ow! I'm alive? I'm alive! But how do I get back up? Maybe there's a way out that way. I mean, that does kind of look like a door. Maybe. Is it a door? I think it's a door.
Howdy! I'm Flowey. Flowey the Flower. You're new to the underground, aren't you? Golly, you must be so confused.
I heard of monsters being down here, but this is ridiculous.
Someone ought to teach you how things work around here. I guess little old me'll have to do. Ready? Here we go.
I really do like this bit. Like, this is just super nice to have all the particles and everything on.
You see that heart? That is your soul, the very culmination of your being. Your soul starts off weak, but it can go strong if you gain a lot of LV.
LV? What does LV stand for?
What's LV stand for? Why, love, of course. You want some love, don't you? Don't worry, I'll share some with you. Down here, love is shared through little white friendliness pellets. Are you ready? Move around. Get as many as you can. You know what's going on here, don't you? You just want me to suffer.
Oh, also, thing to note as well in this bit is I'm going to be moving the soul around a little bit, obviously, because when you look at the scene here, it slowly animates up and down a little bit, right? But it doesn't quite move after that there. I want it to have moved by the time that Flowey has finished his little spiel there. So I think I might put the soul over Frisk's shoulder, like have it just hovering there. Because you don't need to see it move there in between scenes. But I think just having it there and out of the way would be just nice so it's not in the way. And then when we have the bit here in a moment, where is it? Like when we have there, it should still be there because we'll then have red sort of illuminating Frisk's face on the side, which will look a little bit dramatic. Orbit around Frisk while you like a hula hoop. But yeah, at this bit, for that, I think I might include some sort of effect, like a shockwave or something, just like boom for each one of those. I'm not quite sure. I just want to show that, or imply the motion being pretty quick. It's either that or I slow them down a little bit because of how fast they're going. And then we're going to have the light going over the top of Frisk anyway. But that's when I think I'll have the soul kind of, when they fall there, I'll have the soul possibly go under them and come up the other side. And then we've got Flowey here, right? For that bit, I think, again, it's just a case of changing a couple of camera shots overall. It's not too bad. I don't think any of this is bad at all at the moment. It just needs a little bit of tweaking. Like, for instance, I'll show you what it was before. The bit with Flowey throwing the bullets. If we go here for a moment, this is like the work in progress one where I was trying to get the timing right. Was this the latest one, or?
Are you ready? Move around. Get as many as you can.
This might have been the latest one. Ah, okay, yeah. So that was that just in grey. But there's another version that looks really bad because of the timing being off, right? So was it that one?
Are you ready? Move around. Get as many as you can.
Ah, that's with all of them together. Yeah, this is bad timing. So that was one. I was trying to mess around with this. You get to see all the experiments. So that was Flowey throwing
Move
all
around.
of them.
Get as many as you can.
At the same time. That just looks bad. And then here, this is when I was messing around with trying to get a good shot of what would happen. And while I do like this turnaround that then allows us to go straight into Flowey's dialogue, and it's real nice, it's just one long shot. The problem is that you didn't actually see the impact that well. It doesn't sell it too well. And of course, we don't see where the bullets go. So they just go flying off and get deleted, essentially. I wanted to linger on him a little bit so we get to see the impact afterwards. So that was the reason why I changed that. And then for this bit, yeah, that was where I tried. This was the original shot, right? The original shot was to try and imply very fast motion, and the idea was going from here that way over the top of Frisk. The only problem is, again, too fast. You don't get to see the impact animation either. The impact animation itself being, which looks pretty decent. I put a decent amount of time into recreating that. So yeah, it's a case of trying to get the shots just right to show off each little portion of what's going on. There's not too much to do with this now before Toriel comes in, I don't think. It's just like little tweaks here and there, animating Frisk's face, or reaction, doing like a little bit extra. Because this is the part. Flowery's going to do that, and then we're going to have Frisk actually reacting as they're trying to stand up. The idea being that Frisk is just going to like, I have no clue what you're on about, dude. You sound sus. In terms of Frisk themselves, let's see here. I need to find the first scene because memes asked about the material. Let's do scene. There we go, scene 1. So if I go to the material for Frisk and I just try and find that, at least we'll be able to see what's going on with that and see what it can do to look better. Okay, so it's that one. Let's do the shading. Roughness is at 500, so let's see what happens if I change that. You know, I suggested... Can I try Big Mouth? Yeah, sure. By all means. Try roughness. So the only thing that really gets rid of is a tiny bit of light on the edge there. It's so non-existent. Alright, let's just try... I'm going to look through... I'm going to look at that now. Yeah, that literally... I don't know if I'd be suitable. I can at least try. No. So... Let's try another close-up here. It depends on the shot, really. Like, that's the same shot as before. And the... Like, can we check the subtlety of this? 0.5. Oh my god, yeah, right? 0.5 on subtlety there. And then... It's literally... If you keep watching around the neck, that's hardly visible. That's 100% roughness. That's obviously 0, so it looks more shiny. That's 0.5. That's 1. There's hardly any difference there. So maybe I don't switch that up. Is there anyone you could recommend? Again, like with the rest of this, there'll be plenty of time for like, because I can't think off the top of my head at the moment, only because the way that this is working is obviously focusing on the main part. The one thing that I will say is the moment we get into the ruins, that's when I'm going to be turning around and being like, okay, I'm going to need this many people instead of just having one person do all the voice. I'm getting thrown off here because the DM's Wally! What's going on? Let's have a look. There's Christina. Okay. DMs, real quick. What roles are open for VA? I'm gonna have to check. I'm gonna have to check now. Hang on. The thing is, they should all be full at the moment, according to my my Google Doc. But hang on. Let me just check. I'm just checking both here now. I'm checking the casting call website, and then the Google Doc. Trying to. There we go. Manage roles, right? And then for new cast. Okay, so I think I have Night already in here. So if we get rid of that, Fish Receptionist needs one. Big Mouth needs one. Ice Cap I've not really settled on. Vegetoid, I think. Mygosp I think has one. Jerry definitely needs to be done. Like, nobody's voicing Jerry. I think Sammy said she wanted to try and voice Crystal, but she's not done that yet. RG02, I don't think has anyone. I'm going to have a look. I think I've got Ice Wolf. Dress Lion, I think Glide. Let's have a look. I'm just having a check here on... Let's see. I'll also check the Discord just to make sure. Because on the Discord, I sometimes leave notes as well as to which characters will be needed still. It's going to be a while back. It's because in between all of this work, I did the VA stuff and then went back to doing work again. So I've got like little notes here and there. Trying to keep track of everything is insane. Ad lib stuff. Let's see. Sorry, this is taking a while. There's a lot of stuff I have to go through. Wait a minute, wasn't that Wally? Was this yours? Hang on.
Goodbye, ruins.
Yeah, that would be for later. That'll be cute. Here we go. So I might actually have Glide, Ice Wolf, RG02, and Jerry. And also Mew Mew and Night Night. Which means I'd be looking at trying to get Dress Lion, Vegetoid, Ice Cap, potentially, and Big Mouth. And then, and Fish Receptionist. And then the other monsters that you fight, there'll obviously be multiple of them. Just as for, yeah. There is a lot. There is a lot I need to catch up on and make sure that I'm definitely up to speed with those. Make sure I've got all the files. But yeah, the thing is, don't worry about character stuff if you want to try and voice one or two of them, because once we get into the ruins, like I was saying, that's when we have more monsters that you can fight normally, right? And the idea that I had and I presented originally was that I wanted this to be a project where you don't just get to experience the journey of like Frisk through the underground, kind of how you would with like some other animations that people have done, where it's literally just all focused on Frisk. The idea for getting all of the characters done in 3D was to have them have some sort of little role themselves. So like, even if it's, say, little funny ideas, like a bunch of Mygosps having a dance off in the background, you know, because they do the dance animation in the battle thing. So it would be funny to have them, like 3 of them having a dance off, you know. There's at least room for maybe like 1 or 2 voices for a little idea like that to be in the background, just to kind of make everything feel alive. So I'm not freaking out over stuff like that at the moment, where I'm trying to add more to it to make everything seem more alive and like everyone else is there and actually has personalities in their own lives and things. I'm not worried about that yet, primarily because I'm solely focused on like the main characters and stuff. But when we get into the ruins, that's when I'll be asking more for like people, where I'll be like, "Oh, can somebody just like do like Mygosp number 15 or whatever?" You know, it sounds terrible, but at least that way people get to voice something, and obviously get to have fun and flesh out things. All I will say about that kind of stuff is when we get into doing that kind of thing, if you have any ideas for funny little interactions that seem to be in line with the True Pacifist route or Undertale in general, I am open for ideas when it comes to characters doing certain things in the background or, as part of the environment to, make things seem more alive. Mainly because I just think it'll be fun for people to have that kind of thing. Like, there have already been multiple ideas that people have put forward that I've used to make things look better at the moment, and we're not even into the ruins. So, there are potential for things like that from, like, all of the other areas. The only difference is I'm obviously solely focused on doing the ruins right now. Let's see what the message is there. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was just getting a copyright notice warning there. But yeah, that's about it at the moment. I'm just up to... What the heck? Huh, okay, that's weird. So yeah, apparently my security is just like completely weird and messed up now. I'm gonna have to go deal with that. Thank you very much, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed. And thanks for leaving feedback and stuff. And I shall see you next time, as it appears there is something weird going on my end. So until then, bye!